with Rick. You know, we all had great times to spend time with Rick. You know, he was so personable, always at our events here at Cooters and down in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. At the 40th anniversary, whenever we had everyone together and we showed the first episode, I thought it was really funny. After the show, I was talking to Rick after we showed the pilot to everybody at the exact moment 40 years later when we showed it. Rick looked at me and he said, "That's the first time I ever saw that pilot." He never saw the first episode until 40 years, so you know, he wasn't in it, so it took a couple episodes for him to be in there. But that worked out, and Rick was just such a great friend to all of ours, and we miss him very much. We're going to do a little video here. Jet and Billy are going to let it go. We're going to take a look at this video. It's a little tribute to Rick, so go ahead and take it away, Jet.
My milk. Oh, what's the matter?
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
We want to definitely thank Autumn who put that video together. Autumn, you did a great job. That was a beautiful tribute to Rick. I did get to spend a lot of time with him just talking about the Dukes. He told me one cool story about how on a Friday, the days they would shoot, he said, I never heard this story before, everyone would kind of jockey for position to who was going to get out of there first. Because even 45 years ago, they all had car shows to do. You know, Rick's going to Ohio and Tom's going to Georgia. Or so they've been signing autographs their whole life. And Rick kind of told me a little bit about that. So it's just fun how for 45 years, Rick has been, giving to the fans and sharing with us. So it's just we miss him so much, and we're really glad we get to spend some time with him. So now Miss Elma's going to come up and say a couple words about our friend Rick Hurst.
Thanks, Larry. And hi, everybody.
Hi!
Thank you, Tom.
Oh, I thought you were asking if I was.
Anyway, it is so great to see all of you, and I appreciate all of you being here so much. I just watching that video, I was like, Jeff said to me, "God, it's hard to believe he's gone." And it's like, yeah, it's so hard to believe, because he was always, with us and joining in, and he was the first guy to pitch in, and whenever I asked him to do anything, he was here or he was there, and I think he was pretty great with you guys, and I just can't believe, like I said, that he's gone. I saw him in Nashville the weekend before he passed that Thursday. We were having a show, and he was signing autographs, and that night several of us went out to dinner. Autumn was there, and Richie was there, and Bob was back over cleaning up at Cooters or something, but there were several of us having dinner, and I'm going to miss him because he paid for my dinner that night. I thought it was the sweetest thing. I'll never forget it. And then I talked to him that Monday, and we're canceling everything. So it's just it's wild. So I want us to just really appreciate each other. We never know. We never know when it's going to happen. And I think a lot of us were shocked. But mostly I want to tell you how much Ben is sorry not to be here, because he really wanted to pay tribute to our friend Rick too. Because of course they went back a lot longer than Rick and I did. And Ben is sorry not to be here with you. And he'd have liked to have sung a song too, Tom, but oh well. Anyway, he says thank you guys for coming, and he loves you, and he loved our friend Rick. And now I want to ask Miss Dorothy to come up and say a few words, because she's really notable.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. It's been great. It's been great to see my family. And that's the one thing about the Dukes, is that it was family. And Rick and I did an episode in season 2, and so did Rick. So we always kind of felt like, even though I was around all the time, even when they were in Georgia shooting, that Rick and I kind of started doing our shows on Dukes of Hazzard together, so we would always joke about that. But that's the one thing, is that it was family, and Rick and John and Tom were like brothers, and so was Rick. And Rick would, whatever I asked, like you said, Alma, I would call Rick and say, we're going to do a benefit for a children's hospital or whatever, and Rick would say, like, when? Where do I go? Where do I, I'm in. And then when we decided to shoot a sequel to Jimmy's starring Killer Shrews from 1959, and we decided to do Return of the Killer Shrews, and Jimmy did the same role 50 years later, which has to be a record. He wanted Rick to play his sidekick in the film. And because Jimmy had great respect for Rick's talent. And and I called Rick, and he's like, yeah, sure, I'm in, count me in. He was just great. He was just a great guy, and just a nice guy all the time. He really was. And we all loved him, and we all miss him. So I guess that's probably about what I have to say on Rick's subject. I'd like to introduce Jeff. Would like to come up and say something.
Now we're going to have Rick's cousin, another hog, come up and say a little bit. So, Jeff Altman, tell us about Rick.
My name is Elliot Goots. This is my first time here in Luray, and they've offered me a job down in the Luray Caverns permanently. Well, my name is Jeff Altman. I played Huey Hogg on the Dukes of Hazzard for 6 years. Thank you for that walking ovation. I knew Rick Hurst long before anybody in this room. Rick and I met each other doing commercials in Los Angeles, probably back in 1975, maybe, before the Dukes was even on. And I used to go to his house and do card tricks, and we used to have just a great time. He was such a good guy, so warm and so inviting. And I spent many hours in his house trying to entertain, but always upstaged by Rick and his friendship and his loving quality. And I taught Rick eventually how to do a couple of card tricks, and he just got such a kick out of the tricks that I showed him. He was so proud that he learned how to do some magic. And I think I may have been the last text that he sent before he passed away, because we were discussing with Autumn how to get my pictures down there, and he paid $200 for my pictures to come back, and then he passed away. So Rick, you'll never get that $200 back, my friend. He was a wonderful guy, and we should all be proud to say that we all knew him and loved him. And just thanks for being here, everybody. Take care.
And now it's my pleasure to ask our wonderful friend Tom Wopat to come give a little tribute to Rick. If he can get up.
I think Rick and I both canceled on that weekend in July. I was having a mild heart attack at the time, and he moved on ahead. He was a good friend. We played a lot of darts over at his house. An interesting guy, talented guy, and an unenviable position of trying to replace Sonny Schroyer. Just, man, that's a hard lift, because Sonny as Enos was remarkable and irreplaceable, and is still just, what is that? Motorcycles, a little tribute to Rick Hurst by the Bikers. All right. Yeah. Two-wheelers. Okay.
We like four.
What's that?
We like four-wheelers.
I have a song that I sing about being in this business. Because, when you're a little kid, you think about what you might want to do. And sometimes it works out, most times it doesn't. And I think that Rick and I had a similar track in that, to our great astonishment, it worked out really well. I'm the kid who ran away with the circus. Take the top end off. Now I'm watering elephants. But I sometimes lie awake in the sawdust, dreaming that I'm late at night in the empty big top. I'm all alone on the high wire. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no net this time. He's the real death defier. I'm the kid who thought we'd one day be lovers. Always held out that time would tell. Time was talking. I guess I just wasn't listening. That's no surprise, not if you know me well. As we're walking down toward the train station, I hear the whispering rainfall. We cross the boulevard. You put your hand in mine. In the distance, the train's last call. This is my third partner over here. I'm the kid who has this habit of dreaming. Sometimes it gets me in trouble too. But the truth is, I could no more stop dreaming than I could make them all come true. Make them all come true. There's another song I think you would have liked that I sang recently with a big band and to a really beautiful arrangement, but I'm going to try and do it Acapulco here. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Just a good old boy. Yeah. Never mean him no harm. If he's on, you never saw any trouble with the law since the day they was born. Straightening the curves, flattening the hills. Someday the mountains might give, but the Lord never will. Well, they're making their way the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the law would allow. Just a good old boy. We wouldn't change if we could. We'd still be fighting the system with Hurst, like to live by the hood. Yes, indeed. Rick, rest in peace. He's in hot pursuit of somebody up there. All right, y'all. Thank you all for coming and listening to this. We appreciate Rick the most. He was. It's hard when you see somebody go. I lost a brother a couple of years ago. The first one out of 7 boys in my family. And, you know, the shades are starting to pull. But thank you all for coming. Nobody gets out of this place alive, but thank you very much. And thank you, Miss Alma.